Okay, with this video I'm going to show you how to assemble your airplane. I'm going to use a 7th grade model. Regardless of whether you're in 6th, 7th, or 8th grade, we'll be using the same process when assembling your plane. So the materials you're going to need to assemble your plane is obviously your wings and your motor stick. You'll need a pin with no glue on it, 2 wheels, a set of landing gear, 4 small rubber bands, and the propeller and the little yellow hub that's attached to it. The first thing we're going to do is you're going to take the pin. If you're in 6th and 7th grade, I will place the pin in your motor stick for you. That's going to go right at where the taper begins. If you're in 8th grade, I will provide you a pair of scissors. I will provide you a pair of pliers, and we'll show you how to put using the pliers, how to place that pin into your motor stick, and I will show you how to do that in class. Once the pin has been put in place, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to put the 4 small rubber bands on. Now the instructions on step 12 tell you that you're going to end up putting each rubber band on the motor stick, and each rubber band needs to have a total of 4 loops to it. So when you have 1 loop, just by putting the rubber band over the motor stick, now by placing your fingers inside of the rubber band, like so, twist and wrap the rubber band around 3 more times, and that will give you a total of 4 loops. We're going to take that first rubber band and we're going to move it back toward the tail section. Like looking at the picture in step 12, you're going to need 2 small rubber bands behind your wings, and you'll need 2 small rubber bands in front of your wings. And once again, we're using those rubber bands to adjust your wings when you're outside flying. So I'm going to leave 2 setups in the back, and I need to put the other 2 in the front. So once again, you get the technique down by now. Put your fingers inside, twist, wrap around 3 more times, making sure you have a total of 4 loops. Now we figured over the years 4 loops was adequate. 3 loops makes your wings too loose on the plane, and more than 4 loops is very hard to put these rubber bands over the wing mounts. Okay, so now I have a set of rubber bands in front and a set in back. So before we put the wings on, let's go ahead and assemble the landing gear and propeller. So the first thing we'll do is we'll take the landing gear, and the little prongs on the landing gear need to be opened up here, and we're going to put the wheels on these. So to put the wheels on, just slide the end of the prong through the opening of the wheel, and we have to make sure that the wheel doesn't fall off at this point, like this one's about to do. So we're going to bend the prong straight up. So to do this, what you're going to do is turn the landing gear upside down so you're placing your thumb behind the wheel. Then the next thing we're going to do is we're going to go to the end of the table, and at the end of your counter where you're sitting with your thumb behind the wheel, all you have to do is push forward with your thumb. Pushing forward will allow you to bend that prong straight up. The prong is bent up, the wheel doesn't fall off. So we'll try that again with the other wheel. We put the other wheel on, push it through the little opening here, and once that prong has gone through, like so, again we're placing our thumb behind the wheel, edge of the table, push forward against the edge of the table, and that will bend that prong up as well. So the wheels are mostly meant to glide, not meant to roll. So once we have our wheels on, then we can go back and finish putting on the propeller. So to put on the propeller, all we have to do is slide the little prong, the little arm in here, right inside that hub. Now kind of a recommendation here, when you're putting the wheels on, be sure the landing gear wheels are on the same side as the little silver loop, because this is where the large rubber band is going to go, and that will be the bottom of your plane. Now to assemble your wings, we'll set those down for right now. To put your wings on, first of all, be sure you have your wings facing the correct direction. Remember, the thicker part of the wing rib is the front of the wing. That should be facing toward the front of the plane. So as we put these rubber bands on, you want to do a motion where you're holding the plane together with 2 fingers underneath. You're going to take two fingers, your index finger and your thumb. Keep your hands below your airplane, and you're just going to push those rubber bands up and over the little 1-inch sticks. Now you want to do one set of rubber bands at a time. Don't try to put 2 sets on. Very hard to push those over at the same time. Again, keeping your hands underneath your airplane. And I say underneath, and I'll tell you, if you have your hands on top of the plane and you're trying to move those rubber bands and your hand slips, you're going to rip up all that tissue paper. Keeping your hands below the airplane, everything slips, your just hands run into each other and nothing gets broken or torn. So now I have those 2 rubber bands on the back end. I have 2 rubber bands on the front end. And now I can put my landing gear on. And we now have our plane assembled. Step 12 is now complete, and you'll be ready to do step 13, balancing your airplane, which I will show you in class.